Do you ever look at a situation and wonder, how did it get this bad? That's where Germany is right now. The country that once defined economics power in Europe is suddenly struggling. Layoffs are sweeping through industries, GDP is shrinking, and recession warnings are flashing everywhere. This isn't just a rough patch, it's a full-blown crisis. And what's even scarier, Germany's problems aren't staying in Germany. They're rippling across Europe and beyond. Germany has long been the engine of the European economy. To understand why the current struggles are so significant, we need to take a step back. After World War II, Germany was in ruins, physically, economically, and politically. Cities like Berlin and Hamburg were reduced to rubble, and the economy was essentially non-existent. But from this devastation came one of the most remarkable recoveries in history, known as the Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle. West Germany rebuilt itself with American aid through the Marshall Plan and a mix of free market capitalism and social protections. The industrial base was revitalized and Germany emerged as a global manufacturing powerhouse. By the 1980s and 1990s, Germany was the undisputed leader of Europe. Even the challenges of reunifying East and West Germany after the fall of the Berlin Wall couldn't slow down its economic rise. Germany leaned on its manufacturing and export-oriented economy, producing high-quality goods that the world just couldn't get enough of. Cars, machinery, guns, chemicals, and more. But while this model brought decades of success, it also created vulnerabilities that are now being exposed. Let's start with the auto industry, the jewel of Germany's economic crown. For decades, brands like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz weren't just making cars, they were setting the global standard for quality and innovation. But in 2024, the auto industry is facing a crisis that would have seemed unimaginable even a few years ago. Volkswagen, one of the largest automakers in the world, recently announced it would shut down at least 3 factories in Germany and lay off thousands of workers. And this isn't just a company problem, it's a national problem. Entire towns and cities depend on these factories for their livelihood. And when they close, the ripple effects are devastating. Local businesses lose customers, schools lose funding, and entire communities are left scrambling to adapt. So what went wrong? Electric vehicles. While companies like Tesla and Chinese manufacturers embraced the EV revolution early, German automakers stuck to their internal combustion engines, confident that their reputation for quality would keep them on top. But times change. EVs are now the future, and Germany is playing catch-up. Chinese automakers, in particular, have flooded Europe with affordable, high-quality EVs, leaving German manufacturers struggling to compete. It's a classic case of too little, too late. The auto industry struggles are mirrored across Germany's broader industrial base. High energy costs are one of the biggest challenges. For years, Germany relied heavily on cheap natural gas from Russia to power its factories and heat its homes. This arrangement worked until it didn't. When the war in Ukraine cut off Russian gas supplies, Germany was forced to scramble for alternate energy. Energy prices skyrocketed, and manufacturers suddenly found themselves unable to compete with the rivals in countries where energy is cheap. For energy-intensive industries like steel and chemicals, this has been catastrophic. And here's the frustrating part. Germany was supposed to be the leader in renewable energy. Back in the early 2000s, the country launched the Energiewende, or energy transition, with ambitious plans to phase out nuclear power and replace it with renewables like wind and solar. But the execution fell short. Political infighting and inconsistent policies slowed down progress, and Germany became overly reliant on Russian gas to fill the gap. Today, as countries like France expand their nuclear energy capacity and others ramp up renewables, Germany is stuck in a messy transition. Trade policy is another area where Germany has been hit especially hard. As an export-driven economy, Germany depends on open global markets to sell its goods. But with the rise of protectionism and trade barriers has made this much more difficult. With Trump's new plans to impose tariffs on all goods made outside of the United States, Germany is especially afraid, as this would make their vehicles even less affordable, making it almost impossible to compete with local brands like Tesla or even the big 3 auto manufacturers in the United States. Additionally, Germany's export growth has slowed, and competition from countries like China has become even more intense. The Made in Germany label, once synonymous with excellence, no longer guarantees success in today's crowded global markets. Then there's the demographic issue. Germany has one of the oldest populations in Europe, and this is creating long-term challenges for its economy. An aging population means fewer workers, lower productivity, and higher costs for healthcare and pensions. And this isn't a new problem. It's been building for decades. But now the effects are impossible to ignore. Germany's labor force is shrinking. And without significant immigration or policies to attract skilled workers, the situation will only get worse. And here's where it gets personal. The US isn't immune to these challenges. In fact, the demographic trends Germany is dealing with might be a preview of what's coming to America. For decades, the US population grew steadily, driven by both high birth rates and immigration. But that growth is slowing. Birth rates have declined rapidly to historic lows, and immigration policies have become more restrictive. Recent forecasts suggest that the United States population could stop growing entirely within the next few decades. When that happens, the challenges Germany is facing, labor shortages, high healthcare costs, and slower economic growth or no economic growth at all, could become a reality for the US as well. And this isn't just statistics, it's about the people. In Germany, the effects of these demographic shifts are being felt across the economy. Workers are retiring faster than they can be replaced, leaving companies struggling to find talent. Entire industries are being reshaped by these challenges. And the same could happen in the US if these trends continue. The question is, will America learn from Germany's struggles and take action to address its own demographic issues? Or will it wait until the problem becomes unavoidable? And let's not forget the political side of the crisis. Germany's government has long been known for its stability and pragmatism, but today it's facing serious challenges. Political divisions have made it difficult to pass meaningful reforms and key decisions on everything from energy policy to industrial strategy. They're being delayed. The lack of decisive action is eroding confidence in Germany's leadership, both at home and abroad. Investors are pulling back, and businesses are holding off on spending and hiring, further slowing the economy. The ripple effects of Germany's struggles are being felt far beyond its borders, and as the largest economy in Europe, Germany has long been the backbone of the European Union. Its success helped stabilize the Eurozone division during crises like the 2008 financial meltdown and the European debt crisis. But now, Germany is dragging the region down. The EU Commission has lowered its growth forecast for the Eurozone multiple times, citing Germany's underperformance as a major factor. So why should you care? Germany's problems might seem far away, but their impact is global. As the fourth largest economy in the world, Germany plays a crucial role in international trade and supply chains. When Germany stumbles, it creates ripples that affect everyone. And a weaker Germany means slower global growth, less investment, higher prices for goods. If you haven't noticed rising costs and supply chain delays, Germany's economic slowdown is likely part of the reason. But beyond the immediate impact, Germany's story offers important lessons. One of the biggest takeaways is the danger of complacency. For too long, Germany relied on the same strategies that had worked in the past: export-driven growth, cheap energy, and a strong industrial base. When the world changed, Germany was slow to adapt. It's a reminder that in today's rapidly evolving global economy, standing still is the same as falling behind. Another lesson is the importance of diversification. Germany's reliance on Russian gas and its heavily focus on exports left it vulnerable when those pillars started to crack. The same principles apply to individuals. Whether it's your income, your investments, or your skill set, putting all of your eggs in one basket is a risky move. And finally, there's the issue of leadership. Germany's political gridlock has made a bad situation worse. In times of crisis, bold, decisive action is essential. Waiting too long to act only deepens the problems. Whether you're running a country, a company, or just managing your own life. Germany's economy is at a crossroads. The choice it makes in the coming years will determine whether it regains its status as Europe's powerhouse or continue its downward downslide. For the rest of us, their struggles offer a stark reminder of the challenges that we all face in an unpredictable world. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope this breakdown gave you a clearer understanding of what's happening in Germany and why it matters. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell me what your thoughts are and what Germany could do to turn this all around. The biggest mistake Germany made was not subscribing to my YouTube channel. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.